Hello, main event baseball YouTube fans. Hope all you guys are having a great Wednesday and a great hope day as well. Hope also you guys are also having a lovely Thursday Eve. And I hope you guys are ready for a Wednesday and home day edition of Main Event Baseball with Ryan, Boise Hawks pre-game show, as tonight is game 2 of a 6-game series and game 2 of a 96-game regular season in the Pioneer Independent Baseball League, guys. We have 4 things to discuss in today's pregame show. We are going to take a look at around the league for the Pioneer League on opening day last night. Then we are going to talk about how hungry and how dangerous the Ogden Raptors could be tonight at Hawks Memorial Stadium. We are then going to do something that I should have done either yesterday or the day before. I'm going to talk about the outfield dimensions for Hawks Memorial Stadium. And then we are going to end this episode on the pregame show about a very disturbing incident that happened over the weekend in Nashville, Tennessee at the AAA stadium. So make sure that if you enjoy this pregame show, you hit that thumbs up and that like button, and don't forget to subscribe down below if you have not done so already. All right, guys, we're going to start off and looking around the league in the Pioneer Independent Baseball League last night on opening day or opening night. So these were the final scores around the league. The Glacier Range Riders would defeat the Great Falls Voyagers in Great Falls, Montana by a final score of 14-2. The Billings Mustangs would beat the Idaho Falls Chuckers in Idaho Falls by a final score of 11-8. Last night in Boise at Hawks Memorial Stadium, the Boise Hawks got the better half of the Ogden Raptors by a final score of 9-4. Last night in Long Beach, Coast defeated the Yuba Freebirds in Yuba, Maryville, California by a final score of 10-6. Missoula would defeat the reigning, defending Pioneer League champions, the Oakland Ballers in Oakland, California by a final score of 11-2. And last but not least, the Modesto Road Riders would be able to win their inaugural home opener of being a team in the Pioneer Independent Baseball League. They beat the Red Pocket Mobiles, aka a travel team, this year in the Pioneer Independent Baseball League by a final score of 12-1, guys. Again, that is around the league last night on opening night or opening day. And now, guys, our next order of business is to talk about the Ogden Raptors and how hungry they are going to be for a win on a hoop day at Hawks Memorial Stadium on a Wednesday night. All right, guys, tonight, Hawks Memorial Stadium, 7:05 Mountain Daylight Time. It is game 2 of a 6-game series between a rivalry series of the Ogden Raptors from Ogden, Utah, and the Boise Hawks, guys. And this is where I am going to talk about how the Ogden Raptors could be very, very hungry and coming out tonight for some revenge on the Boise Hawks, guys, because last night the Ogden Raptors and the Boise Hawks played a pretty tight game almost throughout the ball game. The Hawks again last night had a 4-1 lead, and then bippity boppity boo, the top of the 7th, it would be 1 error that the Hawks made and 3 runs would score for Ogden, and it tied it up at 4 apiece. But luckily, last night, the Hawks were able to put on a 9 spot and win by a final score of 9-4, which brings me to how Ogden could be looking for revenge tonight at Hawks Memorial Stadium, guys. I really noticed throughout the game last night. The Ogden Raptors and Evan Parker, they were very, very electric. But I saw that at the end of the game last night, they were extremely pissed off and ticked off. It kind of looked like the Ogden Raptors last night were like expecting a W on a Tuesday night, and instead they would only be able to put up a 4 spot on the scoreboard and lose by a final score of 9-4. And the way Ogden ended the game last night, the way everything played out to end game 1 of a 96-game regular season, I got the feeling and I kind of got the vibe that Ogden is now, they were going to go to their hotel last night. They weren't not going to sleep well, and they were going to be thinking and dreaming and waiting to get back at it tonight for game 2 of this 6-game series and go out and, I don't know, maybe humble the Boise Hawks. I do know last night that the Ogden Raptors got humbled by the Boise Hawks, but I saw a lot of anger with the Ogden Raptors last night. They weren't really blaming anybody but the umpires. They didn't blame the umps one little. I actually misspoke on that. They did not blame the umpires, the Ogden Raptors. I felt like they got a little too overconfident, and that overconfidence bit them in the behind last night. But you know what? That's last night. It is a new day and a new opportunity. The only question is, after a hoop day Wednesday night of game 2, will the Ogden Raptors be able to tie the series up at 1 game apiece? Will the Boise Hawks be able to go 2-0 for the very first time since 2022? Of course, we are going to find out in just a couple of hours later tonight. But boy, guys, Ogden, they had, last night really was not their best night on pitching or hitting. They had 1 extra base hit and 1 long ball. The only extra base hit the Ogden Raptors hit last night was bippity boppity bam off of Cole Jordan. He hit a no-doubter solo home run to dead center field. But other than that, the Ogden Raptors came up to the plate and couldn't really do that much more. And that's kind of what got them in a mood. And, if I know Ogden Raptors manager Evan Parker as well as I know him, I know that he is not, he's probably, at the hotel right now, not even accepting last night's loss. It's kind of like eating him alive would be the best way to describe it. And Evan Parker, guys, great manager. Again, youngest manager in the league, only at the age of 34, guys. He's a very, very confident manager, which is a really good thing, but it can also be a really bad thing as well. And I just, you know what? Maybe when the Ogden Raptors got humbled last night, that's going to make them more hungry and maybe more dangerous for game 2 tonight at 7:05. And maybe by the end of tonight on a hoop day, the Ogden Raptors could very well possibly tie the series at 1-1 apiece. But on the other hand, Sean Persky and his Boise Hawks could get a hoop day Wednesday night victory and go 2-0 on the 2026 Pioneer League season. But I would not be surprised if the Ogden Raptors tonight have a couple of changes in their starting lineup and a whole new strategy to get a W. That I really would not be surprised. The one thing, even though this was last season with Ogden, Evan Parker made a lot of changes, okay? Evan Parker released a total of 47 players from opening day to the end of the year last year. So 47 players that were on the Ogden Raptors spring training roster last year were cut. And, apparently the Raptors and Evan Parker, they didn't cut anybody in the playoffs, of course, but Ogden, Evan Parker, he only released 10 guys this year out of spring training camp. And, I could definitely tell after losing the first round of the playoffs to the reigning, defending Pioneer League champions, the Oakland Ballers last year, it kind of makes Evan Parker a whole lot more hungry to go out and get a W. So I don't know. I mean, I think giving Ogden that loss last night makes them come into tonight's ball game not at 0-1, but as a team that absolutely has nothing to lose. And if you were going to be at the Hawks game tonight between the Ogden Raptors and the Boise Hawks, I want you guys to pay close attention to how the Ogden Raptors respond to the Boise Hawks on Hoop Day and a Wednesday night at Hawks Memorial Stadium. All right, guys, I do apologize that I'm doing this part of the pregame show in my mom's closet, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes to make it work. So, yeah, but don't be like me. Don't be like Ryan. Be more professional. Be more better than Ryan, okay? Just saying. I'm chewing myself out for you guys. So, but yeah. I just wanted to let you guys know that our game 2 started for the Boise Hawks tonight is right-handed pitcher Mitch Stone. He is entering his first year as a Boise Hawk. He was not in the Pioneer League last year. He was actually in minor league ball at the rookie level down in the Florida Complex League. But 2023, Mitch Stone did play in the Pioneer Independent Baseball League, and none other than was it with none other than the team that the Hawks are battling in round 2 tonight of a 6-game series, the Ogden Raptors. That is right, guys. Boise Hawks starter on a Hoop Day Wednesday night is a former Ogden Raptor himself of Mitch Stone. Mitch Stone pitched for the Ogden Raptors back in 2023. Current Ogden Raptor manager Evan Parker was not the manager of the Raptors at that time. He was actually on the Raptors as a player coach. He was a left-handed pitcher out of the bullpen, and he served as interim assistant pitching coach. But yes, guys, I wanted to give you guys that little fun fact that our starter tonight for the Hawks did play for the Ogden Raptors in the Pioneer Independent Baseball League just a few years ago by the name of Mitch Stone, guys. So really cool thing on that. Again, Mitch Stone only played one season with the Ogden Raptors, guys, and I believe that was like 3 years ago. So he is no stranger to actually being in the Pioneer Independent Baseball League. But let's continue our momentum on this pregame show and get down to the outfield dimensions of Hawks Memorial Stadium. Okay, guys. Yes, guys. The outfield dimensions of Hawks Memorial Stadium has changed. It did not change down the left field or the right field line. That is at 335. It has always been that way, guys. The Hawks Memorial Stadium's center field used to be 400 feet. Nothing real, interesting. The boring, normal outfield dimensions. But then a few years later, back in 2019, they moved center field from 400 feet to 405 feet. That only lasted 1 year, back in 2021, when the Hawks were in their very first year in the Pioneer Independent Baseball League, they were told by the front office of the Pioneer Independent Baseball League, you got to move in your outfield. So they moved it back from 405 feet to 401 feet. So it is 335 down the lines and 401 feet to dead center field. And I will be very, very honest with you. The ball does carry a little bit more in center field than it did in the past 6 years of Hawks Memorial Stadium. Do I know why? No, don't ask me why. But basically what they are saying is the one place you don't want to hit a ball as a hitter at Hawks Memorial Stadium is to right center field. They actually say that 71% of the time that you hit a ball to right center field, it will actually end up being caught. When you hit a ball to left center field, 80% of the time it will either go as a home run or an extra base hit. So actually, the best part of the ballpark at Hawks Memorial Stadium to hit a ball is left center field. When it's July, the end of June or the beginning of July, the ball will fly like crazy to dead center field. So those are like the dimensions, but also the hitting metrics for Hawks Memorial Stadium. And I definitely know the opposing team does take note of that quite seriously. But getting back into it, guys, I want to know from you guys, like, what do you guys think of dimensions? Definitely, guys, ever since Hawks Memorial Stadium opened in 1979, it has always been 325 down the left field and the right field line. They have never ever changed it. The only outfield dimension they have changed at Hawks Memorial Stadium is center field. For over 20 years, it was 400 feet. They moved it 5 feet deeper to 405 feet. They were in only 1 year, the only time it was 405 feet. There were a total of 7 home runs hit to dead center field. So it made it a whole lot more harder. It has been a different play of the field in center, guys. And then, I mean, center field played pretty decent last night. We only had 3 hard hit balls and only one of them hit out of the yard. That was by Cole Taylor of the Ogden Raptors, and that was absolutely a no-doubter whatsoever. But all right, guys, now that we got out of the way, I'm going to talk about something that happened with the Nashville Sounds. They are the AAA affiliate of the Milwaukee Brewers, and believe me, guys, you guys won't believe this. All right, I know that today is Wednesday, but this incident took place this past weekend in the city of music, on country music, y'all, Nashville, Tennessee. Now, Nashville, Tennessee is also the home of the AAA affiliate of the Milwaukee Brewers, and they had a very unfortunate incident happen around early morning, like 1 to 3 in the morning this past Saturday, guys. 2 males, young adult males, got into the ballpark again around 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning, and they were able to break open the door to the home locker room, and they stole baseballs, they stole batting gloves, bats, uniforms, hats, batting helmets. It went to the degree, okay, and to the extent that over $1,000 of stuff was taken and stolen. The Nashville Sounds ended up postponing the next 2 home games due to this incident, guys. And unfortunately, we're like 4 to 5 days later, and these 2 individuals have not been caught well, I haven't heard any info that they have been caught. So, again, I kept wanting to talk about this on the channel, but every time I keep forgetting. So luckily I put it down in my reminders that, hey, you need to talk about this on the channel, guys. Again, if you guys know that they've been caught now, definitely let me know down below in the comment section, because I have no info that I've been told that they've been apprehended and caught. So, yeah, let me, again, guys, and this happened to the Nashville Sounds. They're the AAA affiliate of the Milwaukee Brewers, guys. I don't know, again, if you guys know that they've been caught, let me know down below in the comments section. All I heard was all this stuff was taken, and my question is how did they get into the stadium around 1 or 3 o'clock in the morning? And then my second question is, how were they able to even get access to the home locker room? That's really like a huge concern. So if you guys know that they've been apprehended, caught, and charged, let me know down below, because I mean, this happened this past weekend. I don't even remember this ever happening, you know. So yeah, again, maybe they've been caught, maybe they haven't. I don't know. I would love you guys to let me know if they have, because I really haven't been following up on the case. But yeah, again, and how in the world did they even get into the stadium around that time of the morning? Because there was no one in the ballpark except those 2 individuals. And I know they were young adults and like they stole all this stuff, but you know, I mean, if they get found guilty and are charged with all this, those are felony offenses. They could go to prison for a long time. And you know, they would go to prison just for doing that. You know, I mean, like, what I mean by that is, like, if you're gonna go and get found guilty, don't do a stupid crime like that. But I'm also saying don't commit crimes at all. You know, it sounds like those 2 individuals are just plain stupid, because then if they get caught, they'll be guilty of a crime, and then they will ruin their life on this guilty charge, you know. And so I don't know. All right. I mean, I find it out of control, crazy and dumb all at the exact same time. So but you know what? That's just me. So, you know, but yeah, I would like to know you guys' thoughts on this too. So let me know as well.